Hi, good day, everyone. Marcela Grobet here with another mini Common Art session. I'm very glad that you are joining this session. It will be very interesting. We are going to work with the topic, starting a new life. How many times have we changed residence, moved to a new house, to a new apartment, or maybe even moving to a new city, and furthermore, to a new country? What happens when we move from one place to another and we have to start a new life? What do we take with us and what do we leave behind? So what's the intention? Precisely to reflect about the different reasons of moving and the feelings involved. What are we going to do today? First, we're going to work with a brain gym exercise called hookups. Then I would very much like you to participate writing your personal story. What happened? When did you move away? Or if you have never moved away from your house, if you have always lived in the same place, maybe you know somebody else who has moved away and what happened with them. Then we're going to explore sculpture, work a little bit on how to organize ideas so that we can tell a story in a nice way, in a way that is perfectly clear and understood. And then discuss a little bit what we take with us and what we leave behind. Are we ready for that? Very good. So let's start with hookups. You can do this exercise standing or sitting. In the image that I'm sharing with you on screen, you see a girl doing it standing. I'm going to do it sitting. It has the same benefits, but well, you can do it either way because maybe you cannot stand up or you don't have a good balance or whatever situation. So I'm going to do it sitting. First of all, if you're standing, okay, stand with your legs lined with your hips, okay, with your hips. If you're sitting, okay, then you're sitting straight with your feet perfectly landed on the ground, on the floor, and straighten your back, okay. First of all, we stretch our arms with the palms facing outwards. What we're going to do is to cross, to swoop hands and arms. Then they are crossing, you see, they are crossing. And I'm going to do the same with my legs. I cross my legs. If I am crossing my left hand over my right hand, I'm going to cross my left foot over my right foot. I hold hands. I cross my arms. My tongue, I place it on the back of my front teeth, touching the palate. And what I'm going to do is to stay there and breathe in and out. Then we bring our hands out, uncross, arms uncross, legs, and put them down. What I'm doing with this exercise is that I'm building brain connections. I am relaxing and I am helping my brain to focus. Next, we can do it again. This time I'm going to cross my right hand over my left hand. Swoop, hold fingers, cross my right foot over my left foot. Okay, interlacing fingers and putting my hands on the, where my heart is. And I start breathing in, breathing out in a relaxed way. If you're standing and you lose a little bit balance, don't worry, you can swing around. Okay, you can swing from left side to right side. Right, stretch your arms, uncross, uncross, and arms down. Relax your shoulders. Very good. You can do this every day, or if you have any 2 minutes in the middle of the work, you can do it, and you will really see the advantages on relaxing, on focusing, and building brain connections. When we are crossing hands, we are also helping our left brain connect with our right brain through the corpus callosum. Let's continue. Okay, so this time I would like you to stop the recording and write down a story, not very long, but write down a story about a change of residence that you have had or that somebody else has had. Writing is a very good practice for you to improve your English because you will be paying attention to the structure, how to build sentences correctly. So stop the video and write your story down. Where did you move? Why did you move? When was it? What happened? How did you feel? What were any challenges that you had when you moved away? Okay, so stop the tape, stop the video, and write it down. When you have done it, you can start the video again and continue watching. If you have somebody, if you're watching this video with somebody, yes, you can also tell your stories to one another and listen attentively. Okay, let's move on. This is the image that I want to share with you. It is from a French sculptor called Bruno Catalano. It was made in 2012, and it has been in different cities around the world. It's called The Voyagers. What can you say about this sculpture? I think it's a bit shocking how Bruno Catalano has this open space, let's say, right? He is only showing us the legs of this person, the upper torso, the face, one of the arms, and what seems to be a suitcase. So this series of sculptures were created by Bruno Catalano. He was born in Morocco, and when he was 12 years old, he left his country to live in France with his parents, and he became French. His trip at such a short age made him feel sad because he left many things behind. He left his life behind, his friends. And before he became an artist, he was a sailor. He traveled to many places, and his constant travels made him feel this sadness of moving from one place to another. So what's the difference when you go out, when you take a trip for holidays, and when you move to a different city or a different place, and moreover, to a different country? Okay, so it's exciting when you go for holidays because you know that you will come back to the same city, to the same place. But when you move to a different place, you leave friends and family behind. You leave your roots and everything you have built. So there are many feelings involved. There is sadness, there is uncertainty, anxiety, but at the same time, there is this hope for a new life. And so in this sculpture, the artist represents what you're leaving behind. You're leaving parts of your body, you're leaving parts of yourself. And what do you think that this person is carrying in his suitcase? What would you take with you in case you had to leave to a different country or to a different city? This sculpture is made in bronze. It has blue patina. You can see that the man has a beard, has a mustache. Well, what do you perceive in his face? Is he happy? Is he sad? Is he worried, excited? What kind of clothes is he wearing? What do you think? Or what's the reason that this person has moved to a different place? There are many reasons why we move from one place to another. It might be for work. It might be, well, difficult situations with migrants, for example, a difficult situation in a country and they have to move away. We hear constantly on the news about this situation, people moving from one country to another, being refugees in another country because of political situations in their own countries. Or maybe just because you want to have a better life, because you want to have better opportunities. What other things can you mention about this sculpture? Why has he decided to take away the upper legs and the stomach, the belly, the other arm? If it were you moving away, what would you take with you? What would you put inside that suitcase? The most necessary, I suppose, some clothes, some memories, maybe photos, or, well, your cell phone and cables or whatever, or your computer. What other things would you bring with you? What things do you possess that are very important so that you would put them inside that suitcase? Now, some minutes ago, I asked you to write a story of a trip. I hope you have done it. Otherwise, you can still do it, and I would suggest you really do it before we go to the next exercise on how to organize our ideas so that we can tell a story that is complete, but not so long that it has a beginning and an end, and we are not going in circles telling the story in a complicated way so that nobody follows us or they get bored because we have been speaking for 10 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever, and you are not really saying anything. Okay, so let's see a little bit how to organize ideas. You can see on screen some sort of a mind map on how to help you organize your ideas in order for you to tell a story in a coherent way. So if you wish, you can copy it as a mind map, or you can write linearly, it's okay. But please answer the questions. Number 1, when did you move? You or the other person, okay? When did they move? The date, the month, the year. When did you move? Where did you go? What place? Was it only a change of residence in the same city, or was it a complete change of city or country even? Who did you move with? Did you move alone, or did you take some family members or friends with you? Why did you move? What was the reason that you decided to move to another place? What did you do there? Were there any special activities? Or if you're still being there, what are you doing there? Did anything special happen, or has anything special happened, especially at the beginning of your moving? Did anything in particular happen? You can include over here, what did you do in order to adapt yourself to the new location? And finally, any conclusions or any additional information that is relevant to the story. So take your time, answer these questions. Next, I am going to tell you a story about myself. You don't have to write everything. You just write the basic information so that you have a mind map, okay, a map in your brain to continue the story in a logical way. Are you ready? I'm going to share my story with you. So you take a look at the notes. I'm going to tell you the story. In 1988, I moved to Tijuana, Baja California, with my husband and my 2 children. My older child was 5 years old, and the youngest was 2.5 years old. We moved because my husband got a new job there in Tijuana. It was a difficult situation because we left our families behind. But it was also new opportunities for us. In my case, what did I do? The first thing that I wanted to do was to study. So in Tijuana is where I got my first teacher's diploma. I studied. I was also working in an elementary school, secondary, and high school. And I was also giving English classes at factories in Baja California, in Tijuana. As a family, we enjoyed barbecues, and we enjoyed trips to the United States. So my children actually became bilingual because we had lots of contact with the United States. They watched television in English. They learned English when they were very young. So that was very beneficial. Also, well, they grew up freely because Mexico City was starting to be a complicated place to live in. And over there, in the neighborhood we lived, it was very safe, And so my children grew up freely. They could go out and ride their bikes. And well, for me, or for my husband and I, it was economically very good because as it is a border city, we had higher salaries, and actually I charged my English classes in dollars. About 9 years later, in 1997, 98, we went back to Mexico City. And well, it was also a difficult move, even though we were coming back to where our families lived. I felt sad because I had a very nice life in Tijuana. I lived very comfortably. My children grew very safely, and I felt sad coming back to Mexico City. Well, it took again some time to readapt to Mexico City. What I want to tell you over here is when you have an organized map to follow, when you are telling a story, it will be easier not to get lost in the details. Sometimes we have a very short time to share what we want to say. When we're speaking with friends at work or anything, if anybody asks us, oh, please tell me the story. Okay, then you have an organized way to give your story, and then you're not consuming too much time, or you don't get lost in your ideas. So Bruno Catalano, the artist, has made many sculptures related to voyagers or travelers. Well, it was something that he experienced moving from one place to another. So it's something that he has in his blood, in his veins, this feeling of moving away and leaving things behind or taking things with you. And I want to share 2 quotes from him. The first one, he says, human nature is like that. We always long for something else. We always want something else. Perhaps I have a good job. I want an excellent job. Perhaps I have a nice place to live, but I want to live somewhere better. Perhaps I have a good salary, but I want a better salary. Perhaps I live in a nice neighborhood, but I want to live in a better neighborhood, something that is closer to my work. I don't know. We always want something else. Well, I will leave you the link on the description, a suggestion of a story that I would like you to see, and you can practice reading aloud. It's a very touchy story called The Last Flower. So we always long for something else. We always want something better. That's why there are so many migrants for several reasons. And another quote from Bruno Catalano, he also says, everything that seems solid can break into pieces. This is like a quote that makes us feel a little bit sad, right? Maybe my life is so perfect, so wonderful, and suddenly it can break into pieces, and I need to find a better way. This has to do with resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce forward. I am in a bad situation, but I do my best to move forward and to find a better way to live. So just a final reflection. Think about the things that you leave behind when you move. What I have heard from my learners in my Common Art sessions, that remember, you can always join in the real Common Art sessions. They are 2 hours long, but we have real conversations. And what I have heard from them, what do you leave behind? Well, you leave your work, you leave your family, you leave maybe the comfort that you have. You may leave your furniture. When I moved to Tijuana, yes, I left all furniture in Mexico City, and we got new stuff in Tijuana. We leave behind bulky things or big things, some clothes. Sometimes we leave our beliefs behind. Okay, so not only physical things, but also some spiritual or deeper things that we leave behind. We may leave some shoes. We may have to decide which pieces of clothes we take with us and which do we leave behind. And what do we take with us? Of course, we take some pieces of clothes. We decide which one. Maybe we take, well, the credit cards, the IDs, of course, the phone or the computer, and all the wires and things that we need for our electronic devices. We may take some photos of our dearest ones. We may, all other kinds of things. We take courage with us. And we take these memories with us of our previous life so that we can reinvent ourselves in the new place. What other things can you think of that you take with you and that you leave behind? You can write down on the chat, okay? And I would gladly read and comment about whatever you have written. So thank you very much for today. I hope this session helps you to get some thoughts, to get some ideas, to share some experiences, and especially to keep practicing English, not only the listening part, but if you did the written exercise and if you follow the mind map to organize your ideas, I really hope it's helpful for you to improve your English. Remember that we have a mini Common Art session every Sunday at 10 o'clock, but it's recorded and it's there on YouTube for you to watch whenever you want. You can watch the previous sessions. I think this is number 9 or number 10, I don't remember right now, but you can always learn new vocabulary, get reflections, get ideas, and practice your English if you want to improve. Thanks again. I'm Marcela Grobet, and you can follow me on my Instagram and Facebook, and you can also subscribe here on YouTube so that you can receive the notifications whenever I upload a new video. Have a good day, and see you next Sunday or next time. Bye.